Morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever. Happy Fire Prevention Week. We're back with day 2 of West Bradford Fire Company's open house online with firefighter Jimmy Basong and firefighter Brian Moore. All right, today we're going to go over what is inside engine 39-1. You ready to hop in? Let's hop in.
Hey everyone, this is the inside of engine 39-1. This back part of the truck is where the crew members sit. Up front, you have the driver's seat, and up next to him, you have the officer's seat. So back here, we have all kinds of fun tools and gadgets that we use to help fight fires and solve emergencies. So one cool thing that we have about this truck is the air packs that we wear are already in the seats. So that when you're riding to a call, you can just put on the straps and you're good to go. This yellow lever right here lifts the air pack out of the seat and you're ready to go. Up here, we have a couple flashlights so we can see when it's dark inside a building. This is called a thermal imaging camera where we can see in the dark. We'll go over that a little bit later. And then we have forcible entry tools here to help us get into locked doors. And we have radios that help us talk to each other. So this is the pump panel. This is where the driver goes during a fire. All these levers and gadgets here are for him to use to get water from the truck to our hose to help us put the fire out. This is called the engineer's compartment. So there's an air pack for the driver because his seat does not have an air pack like we showed you. We have some spare sections of hose just in case we need them. And over here, we have shovels and brooms for hazard control, cleaning up the roadway. So in this compartment, we have rope bags. These are used mostly for water rescue. In case someone was stuck in a river, we would stand on the shore, throw them in the bag, and we would pull them back to safety. Up here, this is called a salvage cover. So if we were to go to a house fire, we would put all the homeowner's belongings into one portion of the room, usually the center, and cover all of them so that water would run off the tarp and protect their belongings. The last thing we have in this compartment is called a high-rise pack. This would be used when we go to neighboring companies, because they have higher levels in their buildings, like 3rd story, 4th story buildings, to help us fight fire from the inside. The last compartment we have on this side of the truck carries a digging shovel, it's called a closet hook, and a pickhead fire axe. We also have 2 saws, both used for different things. This saw is used for cutting garage doors or cutting padlocks on a shed, something like that. We also have spare gas and oil, and we have tools to change blades in case we need to do that when we're on a scene. The second saw we carry is a ventilation saw. We take this to the roof of a house or a building so we can cut a hole in the roof and get all the hot gases and smoke out of the building. We also carry a chimney kit on this truck. It's used for chimney fires. We have all kinds of tools in there. Always make sure to have your chimney cleaned regularly to prevent a chimney fire. Last thing we have on this truck is a positive pressure fan. It's used to push fresh, clean air into a smoke-filled building to make everything better for the people inside. So on the back of this truck, we have 2 different types of hoses, but all kinds of different sizes. This white hose here and the yellow hose and the white hose next to it, they're called supply line. They take water from the hydrant to the truck or from trucks to different trucks. Over here, these are called attack lines. We use these to go into a fire and put it out. So we carry 3 tools in this top compartment up here. 2 of these tools are used for the same thing. One tool is called a New York hook and another one's called a pipe pole. These 2 tools are used to pull ceilings in house fires to check if there's any fire above us that we can't see. The last tool we have is called a hard sleeve. We connect multiple hard sleeves together and we put them in a body of water to take the water from there to the truck. It's called drafting. We could take water from a pool, a pond, or even a creek. Anywhere there's clean water that can go into our truck and we can use to fight the fire. One other important tool we haven't gone over yet is the ladders, and these are stored on the ladder rack of this truck. Let's go take a look at that. So here in the ladder rack, we have 3 different kinds of ladders. The first ladder we have is this one here. It's called a roof ladder. It's 14 feet long. It has these 2 hooks on it, and that's how you tell that it's a roof ladder. What these hooks are used for is when they're deployed, they hook onto the top of your roof so we can step off of the extension ladder, which is back here, and we can step onto the roof ladder and distribute our weight evenly across the roof so we don't fall through. And like I was talking about earlier, we have the extension ladder back here. It's 35 feet long and it can get us to the roof of multiple houses. And on the back of this ladder rack back here, we have the attic ladder. This is collapsible ladder, and it's 10 feet long. It helps us get into the tight attic spaces and crawl spaces we have to get into in some houses. We have a couple more tools on top of the truck, so let's go take a look at this. Two big tools we have up here. This is called a floating dock strainer. This is used when we have to take water from a pond or a pool, and we sit this on top of the pond or pool, and it sucks water through this here, and it puts the water to our truck. The second big tool we have up here is our deck gun. This flows a lot of water, much more than what our hoses can flow in a quicker amount of time. So in this back compartment here, we have a couple different tools. This is a Halligan. This is the main firefighter's tool. We also have a flathead axe, and we have a flat shovel. We also have this thing, it's called a blitz fire. It puts out a lot of water, pretty similar to the deck gun, but we can move it wherever we want. This is a little giant ladder. It's called an A-frame ladder. We can also make it stand straight up, and it can go up to 13 feet high. On the bottom here, this is a sawzall. Some of your parents might have tools similar to this. It's used for cutting all kinds of things. We also have a bag of medical equipment in case we need it. We have electrical adapters in case we have to change power sources. And we also have some Class A foam in here. This is pretty similar to soap. It helps us put out car fires. This compartment here, it's a pretty small compartment. We have one scene light. We usually have two, but one is out of service. And we also have 3 cord reels in case we have to get power from the truck far enough away that we can't reach it with a regular cord. In this compartment here, we have a couple things. What's in this bucket here is called oil dry. It helps us clean up gas and oil that might have spilled onto a roadway. In this toolbox, we have all kinds of tools from hammers, wrenches, screwdrivers, pry bars, all kinds of things like that. Down here, we have a dry chemical fire extinguisher. This is a special kind of extinguisher. And we have a hydraulic tool. This is hydraulic, which means it has these cords that are power supplied from the truck. A lot different from the hydraulics that firefighter Dylan Smith will go over on the rescue truck. And last in this compartment, we have cribbing. We put this underneath cars to make sure they don't move or shift after an auto accident. And the last compartment we have on engine 39.1, we have a couple things. These two things here, they're called tripod lights. They're used to help us see in the dark if we're at a scene. We also have a small section of our 5-inch hose in case we have to connect to a truck that's right next to us. We have a couple wrenches that help us use this hose to open it and close it. And we also have a junction box. This is like a portable generator. We pull this cord from the truck to wherever we need electricity. Hey everyone, so I'm just going to go over the thermal imaging camera that we carry on all of our fire apparatus. It's a really helpful tool when we can't see in the dark and we're trying to look for a person trapped in a building. So if you come in here, it's all dark in here, so we wouldn't be able to see in here whether it was smoke or the power went out. But if you look in this tool, we can see firefighter Dylan right there waving at us in the back corner of the room. And there he is.
We're going more in depth on our rescue truck. You know, it's a pretty cool truck, doesn't have too much water on. Actually, you know what, enough of me talking. You know, this is firefighter Dylan Smith. He's going to show you around.
All right, let's hop in. So similar to the engine, we have our air packs in the seats. Over here, we have our bolt cutters, Halligan bar, and 3 box lights. And if you look over here, we have our medical equipment, which keeps everybody safe. In here are masks for the air packs. We have 6 jacket lights, and we have our radio bank with our medical gloves next to it. We have our thermal imaging camera and our gas meter. So in this compartment, we have our hydraulic tools. The difference between hydraulic and hydraulic is that the hydraulic tools need a battery and not a cord, and the hydraulic are powered off from a cord and an engine. So these are our spreaders, and these are our cutters. These are mainly used in a vehicle extrication. This right down here is our ram, which can be used to go inside the vehicle and take the dashboard off the person's legs by extending out. Over here we have a rabbit tool, a plug kit, and a cord reel that is 225 feet long. We also have another cord reel in here. These are chains or come-alongs for the winch. And we'll go on to the next compartment. So in this compartment, we have 4x4 cribbing. Similar to the engine, we have a K12, a vent saw, and a regular chainsaw. So in this compartment, we have more cribbing. If we go over here, we have our struts used for vehicle accidents. It's used to stabilize the vehicle. These go into the ground to help the struts stay in place. Back here, we have a crowbar and a flathead axe. And back here, we have hangers, which are used to hang smoke ejectors. We'll show you those in the next compartment. We also have glass masters or glass cutters used to take out a windshield and not get glass all over everything. So in this compartment, we have our smoke ejectors and positive pressure fan. So these are both positive and negative pressure, which means positive, we're pushing fresh air into the house, and negative pressure, we're taking air out of the house. Over here, we have our oil dry. We put that on the ground to get rid of all the oil in the street so it's not slippery. And here we have our plug kit, which will go with the cord reels just to give us more light, anything else that we need to plug in. So in this compartment, we have our plug kit. It's not the same plug kit, it's a little different. This one's for stopping small leaks. In here, we have our socket wrenches. And then all this is just various different hand tools. Up here, we have our air chisel with a tarp for overhaul. And we have 2 more sawzalls. We have our adjustable plumber's wrench. And we also have cord reel for our air chisel. So on the rescue, we have 300 gallons of water. We also have 2 attack lines. So down here, we'll start with the Class A foam. We also have foam eductors, which can help us draw the foam out. Down here, we have our 3-inch hose and 2 car jacks. We have our 3 different extinguishers, which is the CO2 extinguisher, the carbon dioxide extinguisher, and the water can. We'll come back over here to the 2 air packs. We have 2 small diameter wrenches and a hydrant wrench. And here we have our little giant ladder and a cord reel. And here we also have some spare lights, spare portable lights. So in the back of the rescue, we have a bunch of salvage tarps, which are used for protecting the homeowner's items from debris and water. And here we have our air cart, and we have our airbags, which are used to help lift up vehicles from anything trapped underneath. And here we have our Stokes basket with some other medical items in there. In that box, we have different things for the airbags and the air cart. And we also have a New York hook and a pike pole along with the ladder in here. On top of the rescue, we have some water rescue equipment, such as life jackets, throw bags. If you come over here, we have a ladder belt with some cones. And right here, we have a big medical bag called a triage bag. We use that for a lot of patients for a medical call. So up here on this side, we have extra long cribbing with some Class D foam. We also have some buckets and a bunch of oil pads for large spills. Over here, we have our oil dry hopper, which also helps with large oil spills. So that's it for the rescue. We'll see you tomorrow on day 3 for some household fire prevention.
All right, that's all we got for our West Bradford Fire Company virtual open house. We'll see you tomorrow.